that you want to quit, give it up. Exchange this beautiful youth ministry life for something with some pay and appreciation. I understand. You want to throw in the towel. I get it. Some days youth ministry is wonderful, amazing. You couldn't think of doing anything else. Other days, sometimes most days, it's just survival. In 23 years, I've wanted to throw in the towel more than once. But I want you to think about this. If you throw in that towel, what are you going to use to clean up the orange soda that kid spilled in the last lock-in on the sanctuary carpet? I mean, the towel's great, that thing's probably going to stain. If you throw in the towel, you know the junior high kid, he's been at camp with you all year long. Every time you go, he's there, and he never showers. He finally decides to shower, but he goes in there without what? His towel. With what? And who is going to wipe tears from that mother's face when her child has just made a life-altering mistake? And that girl, you know the one I mean, she thought she was in love with that guy, only to find out that she was tossed aside, like the 6 girls before her. What are you going to make a tourniquet for her heart with if you've thrown in your towel? How are you going to wash your senior pastor's feet without a towel? What are you going to wipe your hands on after changing your son's bike chain for the 37th time? What are you going to do the dishes with for your wife who's working 2 jobs to support your meager ministry income? When you finally make time to have tea with your little girl, will the maitre d' have his towel? Here's how Paul talks about it. Even though I could be free from the demands and expectations of everyone, I have voluntarily become a servant to any and all in order to reach a wide range of people: religious, non-religious, meticulous, moralists, loose-living, immoralists, teenagers, the defeated, the demoralized, whoever. I didn't take on their way of life. I kept my bearings in Christ, but I entered their world and I tried to experience things from their point of view. I've become just about every sort of servant there is in my intent to lead those I meet into a God-saved life. I did all this because of the message. I didn't want to just talk about it. I wanted to be in on it. You've all been to the stadium. You've seen these athletes race. Everyone runs. One wins. Run to win. All good athletes train hard. They do it for a gold medal that tarnishes and fades. You're after one that's gold eternally. This is your towel. If you throw it in, what are you going to use to wipe the sweat from your face after you've run your race?
Lifestyle is a lot like this. Just when I think I almost have it caught, it darts this way and that, and I just can't seem to grab it. I've spent a lot of time chasing that balloon over the years. I tried to manipulate it so it'll go exactly where I want it to be. I've tried to stand right in front of it so it'll pop in my hands. But you know, after all these years, I just realized this is way out of my control. There have been times when I've tried to explain that to my husband. And you know, what I think he hears when I say it sounds a lot like this. You're not coming home for dinner tonight again? I need help with the kids. I don't want to move again. I wasn't planning on having to go back to work to support us. There were times when I just wanted to give up. And you know what? Some of my friends have. I once had a pastor's wife say to me, "How long do you think your husband is going to be in youth ministry?" Well, I said, "Forever." And she said, "Oh, you will get sick of that." Pop. I once had another friend say to me, "Oh, the youth ministry, oh, that is his thing." Pop. I had a pastor look me straight in the face and say that his wife's job was to raise their children so that he could do ministry. Pop. You know, if your spouse is checked out, you will never be the pastor, the youth worker, or the minister that you have the potential of being. You see, your influence can only go so far when you're tethered to a spouse that's checked out. And there's no joy in ministry when your spouse is deflated. It's not fun. So my question to you is this: when is the last time you breathed life into your first ministry? Excuse me. When's the last time you really listened to your spouse's concerns? When is the last time you spent time with your spouse that they didn't have to beg for? Have you ever considered that your spouse needs from the freedom to be who they want to be in your ministry and not who you need them to be? Are you willing to do anything, sacrifice everything to let your spouse know that they are first in your ministry? You see, when you start to breathe into the most important ministry you have, your spouse feels supported, stable, more controlled, and confident that you are not going to let them go. Ministry lifestyle is not always a party, but when things are right at home, everyone can see it. Now, this is fun.